Welcome everyone to the Goddess Temple. My name is Chris, and for today's message, what I have coming through is really this abundance of knowing that you're really here to be your fullest and authentic and expressed self. Now, there's no easy way of understanding who you fully are authentically until you have done the unauthentic things, right? To a certain degree, you will always show up inauthentically. You will always overgive or overdo or over explain. And so there's so many ways that we do this. There's so many ways that we realize this. There's so many ways that we change who we are. And now this doesn't mean that you shouldn't be changing yourself because there is such a thing as growth and evolution, and that's absolutely necessary on a soul level, on a human level, um on a what is it, being a functioning force in society and community. Like you can't expect someone to be a functioning force in society and community when you can't just say here, figure it out, do it. And the thing is, to a certain extent, that is how it works, and at the same time, there's people that actually show you how to get it done. And that's necessary too. That's absolutely needed. And there's people that do provide that support. Trust me that you will find it, because it could be that you're someone that does need that extra little support, and also could be that you're someone that doesn't and is actually very self-proficient, and all you need is just someone, like someone that'll continue to work, do their thing, and that you get to observe them. And just by observing them, that you're able to kind of mimic them, but not mimic them just because, but you truly begin to embody that way of existing and being, and you're like, oh, I like this little character, I like that little quality. Oh my gosh, they did this. How the heck did they do that? Like, how did their brain work in that way to figure that out, right? When you see that, it shows you that the way they got there, it was not down a linear line. It wasn't perfect. It was so messy. At one point of their life, they were doing wonderful. Another point of their life, it was messy. And no one relationship or character or experience is good and bad. It just is. And when you come to this place of it just is that they did that and yet they were still able to create this, or they have done and created this but then realized that they actually didn't practice it. So it's like, to what degree are you holding yourself accountable for the way that you're showing up? To what degree are you actually acknowledging where you are, and to be a little bit more compassionate, to know when to give more and when to take away, when to be a little bit more gentle and when to actually move forward and put in some work, as much as it is needed for you to put in work and to force things. Not to force, but it's like try things, force in a way. That's the best word explanation that I got coming through me. So let's just go with that. So as much as there is that, there is also another part where it's giving yourself the space and the time to move through it, to know that the answer and the inspiration will come. And so the next logical thing that you can do is this thing. And so you do it, right? So you can do it one step at a time, or you can, so which is the forceful thing that we talk about, is when you take one step at a time and you just listen to that one step, which will give you the inspiration for the next, and then the next, and then the next. And then there's people that just genuinely want to figure it out prior hand, so they can understand why they're doing what they're doing, and to make sure that they don't fail or that they can already get to that point. So there's a way to mix in both, and you continue to play with these layers, and you continue to move. You continue to be creative as much as you are observant and analyzing, right? These two parts are absolutely necessary. And when you begin to understand how you function, where you excel at, and where's the other part that needs a little bit more work, a little bit more push, you begin to bridge that in. You begin to understand how do you naturally create and make something happen. What are you already good at that you can bring forth and say that yes, this is the value that I add here. This is something that I can create for you to experience because I know how valuable and how needed and necessary it is. And the amount of information and knowledge and wisdom that comes from that, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this and this and this, and that means I have to learn certain things. That means that I'm gonna do it messy and I'm gonna fail at it, and then I don't know what's gonna give me the success, but something is, right? So you're gonna do it and you're gonna keep doing it, you're gonna keep trying, you're gonna keep failing, but then like, no, I really wanna make this happen. Like, okay, yes. I remembered again that I wanna make this happen, so I'm gonna go for it, I'm gonna keep doing, I'm gonna keep trying, keep being, keep experiencing. I feel like I'm like our minds run a million miles an hour, have so many thoughts that we can't possibly understand to what degree that we have been living through life and to what degree that we're not actually enjoying it. And we're just running for the next and the next. And sometimes the next and the next comes only when you've taken a breather and just taken that big inhale. You're like, okay, now what's next? And you slow down and you figure it out, and it makes sense for you. It finally makes sense to you on how to make it happen, how to make that thing happen, how to have a successful life, a life that feels very well rounded, nourished, and replenished, and acknowledging not only the people that you love around you, but your friends, your family, and yourself, and other creatures, other animals. You understand that the balance was you understanding how to honor not only yourself but also people around you, also this earth, and it just becomes a little bit easier. You're like, okay, I can do this. And another bit of chaos comes in. And you're like, oh no, okay, I can do this again. And it's just practicing that. This is what Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about in his work. This is what he teaches. And it's truly a practice. It's a truly a practice to not only be productive and active, but it's also to come back into yourself and to acknowledge that because the power isn't outside of you. That power that we talk about, it's actually self sourced. It's from within that you find that power. It's from within that you find that, oh, I can hold more. Oh, I can do more. Oh, there is this. Oh, wow, there is this little vision that I had no idea was possible. Oh my gosh, wow. Like, I get to create more, I get to do more, I get to play. You lean into these little places and it becomes so much more fluid, so much more expansive. And you truly begin to meet yourself with where you are, with who you are, who that you've become in all of your life. Truly settle into yourself and know that what you're here to create, who you're here to be, is purely you. There's nothing right and wrong about who you are. But you're here to be you, you're here to be expressed, you're here to be full and whole. You're not broken, you're as broken as you are whole. And it just depends on where your perspective, where your sights are, where your inner sight is at. It's with our inner sight that we see the world around us, that we create the world around us. So, if that's the case, then that must mean that it's your internal world that powers you, that powers the world around you. On a physiological level, that's exactly what it is. We are an electromagnetic force field, and we can conduct, we can magnetize, we can attract and bring in things, bring in not only things but also experiences, people, stories. All of this gets to be alive. You don't have to be broken down. You're not a shadow anymore, that you get to actually see the light because you understand that you are the light. There's no one that around you is darkness, but they are also light. And to some degree, that there is actually holiness and light in people around you too. That even the most mean person, there is love and light in there. Now, it's not your job and responsibility to take care of every single person and to fix them. But sometimes it's just acknowledging that, okay, this is where they are, and where I want to go, it's not it. I don't know how to help this person, and so let them figure it out. Because at the end of the day, it's only you that can save you. And even then, you're not saving yourself. You're just becoming aware that you're someone that does not need saving and that you are whole. That you've been screaming at the top of your lungs to say that I don't need to be saved, that I am whole. This is who I am, and I am abundant and holy and alive. For you to actually acknowledge it, for you to feel it wholeheartedly, that's something beautiful. This is what it means for you to come back into yourself, for you to be holy and to be at home within you. And it's like from that place you create the most magical world ever. It's not something that is just told in fairy tales, but truly becomes something you get to live and experience tangibly. It becomes grounded, becomes earthly, becomes material in nature. So I hope that this really inspired you, this message. And I hope that this replenished you in some way. And I wish you guys all the best. And I will speak to you soon.